Welcome back to the show. We have upgraded our studio. We are coming at you now.
Nice.
Yeah, from the governor's mansion. Governor, a nice change of pace. I'm usually asking you about vetoes and controversial bills, but we're talking sports tonight. How about that?
Something fun, and looks like we're upgrading the tenants of the mansion, too.
Oh, I like that. Well, some of us are anyway. The State of Sports Awards are coming up this week. That's always a great event. Just tell us a little bit about this year's event and who's on tap for coming by and being part of that.
Well, we've got the awards given to the best collegiate athletes, male and female, professional athletes, male and female. We'll have some recognition from people, some surprise guests. In the past, we've had Andre Agassi, Jack Nicklaus, Johnny Miller, Billy Casper, Vern Law.
Right.
And so it'll be a great event for people to kind of celebrate Utah as the state of sports. And by golly, we really are the state of sports.
Talk more about that. How important is sport to our way of life here in the state of Utah?
You know, I think we've always had kind of an outdoor recreation type of life. We appreciate the outdoors. We appreciate recreation in all of its forms. And because we've had such a healthy economy, we actually have an increase of leisure time, whether it be camping, fishing, hiking, or going to sporting events like the Jazz or collegiate events. More people are involved in sports now than ever before in our history.
There's so much involved with Utah sports. People talk Utah, BYU, Jazz, but I think the thing that maybe Utah is most associated with is the Olympics. And there's so much excitement about the possibility of the Winter Olympics coming back whenever, 2028, 2030. What do you hear? Is there any updates? Can you break some news for us right now, Governor, that the Olympics are definitely coming back?
Flash.
Okay.
Well, I can tell you the 2002 Winter Olympics couldn't have gone any better.
Sure.
They've been still recognized as the best Winter Olympics in Olympic history. We hosted the world, so it was good not only for the Olympians and for the venues that we had here, but it was kind of, as I've said, Utah's kind of coming out party. We hosted the world. They got to discover Utah under fresh conditions, found out we're a little more sophisticated than kind of the wild and woolly West view that some people had. We have a lot of volunteer people, friendly, we're bilingual, so it became just a very successful Olympics. And because of that, in 2002, it was not a hard sell, I don't think, to the United States Olympic Committee to say, who are you going to proffer as for the next Winter Olympics that we have an opportunity, and they chose, of course, Salt Lake City, Utah. Right. It looks like we have an opportunity in 2030 is what we're kind of thinking. Right. It could be 2026. It's hard to host the Olympic Games. It costs a lot of money, and to have convenience like we have here along the I-15 corridor, nestled at the foot of the Rocky Mountains, you can get to all the events very comfortably in an hour or less. And we've got the hotel accommodations, the greatest snow on earth, the Kearns Ice Oval, ice skating, all the things that come with the Winter Olympics. We have a legacy from 2002. We just need a little sprucing up, and we're ready to go for 2030.
All right, we'll be keeping an eye on that. Let's change our attention now to the Jazz. Talk of the town right now, looking for a third straight playoff run. What does it mean for the state of Utah when the Jazz is so successful like this, getting into the playoffs, making even runs to the NBA Finals in the past?
The Jazz are probably the biggest brand we have sports-wise in our state. I was in China, halfway around the world, and the thing they ask about, how are the Jazz doing?
That's great.
In fact, we gave as a kind of a gift in exchange, we gave them autographed basketballs signed by the Jazz. Wow. You could have given them $1,000 for the basketball. They would have taken the basketball.
And they knew the players.
They knew the players.
They
asked me, how did Jerry Sloan, how come he got traded or retired? Right. And D. Will at that time had been traded. Okay. So they were asking questions about the Jazz that I thought was pretty remarkable. So the Jazz brand certainly has put Utah on the map in many ways. This basketball team, my gosh, talk about entertaining. You know, with Donovan Mitchell and the team out there, all of them contributing, having fun. That is infectious. The enthusiasm they demonstrate, I think, to the crowd and to the fans. And so it's going to be fun to see how they go this year. Last year was fun. This year's even funner. It reminds me of the old days of Stockton Malone, you know.
Really brings back memories.
Yeah, so
do you get a chance to watch the games? And when you do, are you just like us, screaming at the TV and yelling at the refs? I mean, do you get riled up, or do you have to keep that gubernatorial position there?
I saw the game last night, and they had a call offensive foul. I thought, my gosh, I was ready to kick in the TV. It was such a bad call.
just like
He gets fired,
like
pushed in the
us.
back, foul on the right, and they call him an offensive foul.
Yeah.
How did they do that? So, yeah, I get a little enthusiastic about it. I don't get to see a lot of games. Occasionally, I can get down to the Jazz Arena. I try to watch them on television if I have a chance, but there are just so many things in my life and my schedule that I'm a little disappointed on my recreational opportunities.
Let's talk some college sports. A lot of great universities to cheer for here in the state of Utah. You went to Brigham Young University. Who do you cheer for when it comes to the big rivalry?
That's a tough question. I don't know if you want to answer this.
Well, listen, I can
Is there
tell
an election year coming up? You have to be careful here.
I'm going to bring people together.
Oh, there we go. He's a uniter.
That's the politician.
Yeah. So, listen, I have allegiances to all of the universities here in the state of Utah. They're all doing good things in their respective.
Utah State's had a fantastic
Utah State's had a
year.
great year. Weber State here a year before, and their football team. Dixie State, they're all doing good things. And I have sons that played at University of Utah, as well as sons that played at BYU. So I'm very ecumenical. Any team from Utah I cheer for, I have to kind of remain a little more neutral if they're in state rivalries.
So you have one of those half red, half blue hats that you wear to the stadium when you
I wanted to wear one. My wife said, you're going to look really dorky if you wear that. So I chose not to do that.
Now, you're a big tennis player. Is that your favorite sport to play? And you've played against some of the greats. You just played with Andre Agassi, is that
Yeah,
right?
I played Andre Agassi, Jim Courier, John McEnroe, some of the people that come through towns. I had an opportunity to do some exhibitions. Cliff Drysdale, who was one of the fathers and founders of the ATP Tour, I had a chance to play him, and I snuck up on him and beat him. He came back the next year and cleaned my clock. He says, you're not going to beat me twice. But I've had the opportunity through tennis to meet a lot of people. It's a good recreational, casual sport. Gets your heart pumping and you sweat a little bit. It's just fun to play. So I enjoy playing tennis because I can get a good workout in an hour and a half, and kind of helps keep my hand-eye coordination going. Then for leisure time, I play a little golf.
Okay.
That's a good sport, too. I can say I've been on the hardwood with the governor. You don't want to get in his way.
Oh, no.
He's still competitive.
Yeah? He's got,
Basketball used to be
he's got
my
a jump
favorite
shot,
sport. As
too?
I get older and the kids are getting younger, they're a lot faster. Or maybe so I'm getting slower.
I think it's a little of both. Probably a little of
But
both.
sports are there for everybody. There's something there for everybody to either participate in or observe.
That's great to have this conversation.
Yes, thank you for joining us,
Thank you.
Governor.
We'll see you at the
athlete.
Sports State of Sport Awards this Wednesday.
On Wednesday. We will be out there. All right. From the governor's mansion, right? I can get used to this.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to the studio for the next segment to have another exciting edition of Bites of the Week.